Most embarrassing situation you've been in? Story inside, doubt anyone can top it. A few weeks ago I was horny and for God knows what reason, decided to try use my cell phone as a vibrator. Anyway, it got stuck up there and the only person who could get me to hospital was my friend, who thought it was hilarious. On the way there he posted on Facebook informing the world of my situation, along with my cell phone number. For the next hour, I sat in the emergency room waiting area receiving uncomfortable stares as the phone in my ass rung and vibrated, all the while my flatmate laughing hysterically and telling me I'd better answer it as it could be important. If anyone can top this, you have my upvote. Edit. I am male. Posted this the other day. A couple of seniors of my high school were pulling into parking lot before school in a beater F-150. It was a nice Friday morning, and they had come up with this silly plan to do a drive-by mooning of some popular girls. No doubt to impress, they had done this before, so they had a rehearsed plan. As they proceeded to pull closer to the girls, the driver honks his horn as the passenger drops his pants and sticks his ass all the way out the window. The passenger felt a nice fart welling up inside at this time, so he decided it would be extra funny to turn this into a drive-by gassing. He executed with precision timing. Here is where it all goes wrong. The previous day was senior ditch day, and he spent much of the previous day consuming copious amounts of alcohol, apparently passing out a number of times. So when he let her rip, it was not a bubble of gas he was releasing, so much as a torrent of bile and fecal matter, in the form of a geyser. From 5 feet away at eye level, he had unleashed 24 pko shit and hosed the girls. While the first escaped with little damage, the 2 other girls had taken direct hits. Vomit, screaming and crying was produced by many spectators. When I was 14 and almost always thought with my penis, I decided it would be great to masturbate with a condom on, liked how it felt, and did it all the times for about a week. They also happened to be my dad's condoms, so, long story short, my mom realizes that so many condoms are missing and thinks my father is having an affair, comes crying to me about it, and my initial reaction is to deny any speculation that I used the condoms. After realizing that this may end my parents' marriage, I ran upstairs and with tears coming from my eyes, I explained to me mom that I used them, not for sex, but for masturbating. I cried for an hour. TLDR used dad's condoms for wanking. Mom thought he was cheating, had to tell mom I like to masturbate with condoms. You may have been crying, but you were quite a man to own up to it. I don't think any decent human being is ready to live with the fact that his wanking destroyed his parents' marriage. In Korea, the toilets in more rural areas rarely have toilet paper. I was 14 visiting family for the summer and had to drop a huge deuce. It came out like gravy, and it was then I realized I had no toilet paper or paper towels in the bathroom. Unlike American toilets, most in Korea are the squatters, like this, so I couldn't use the toilet water to wipe my ass with my hands. http://wanderingcanadian.files.wordpress.com.jpg. There were a shitton of people in the bathroom, and for some retarded reason I decided to use my umbrella I had because it was raining, and I figured the rain would wash it away when I got outside. When I went outside, my aunt grabbed the umbrella, which was the only one we had, and yelled at me for taking so long and opened it up. Small pieces of my feces flew on my entire family like we were gingerly coated with brown pepper. Needless to say, I have never returned to Korea. The mental image this conjures is priceless. Throughout my elementary and into high school, I was in love with this girl. Gorgeous redhead, exceptionally intelligent and very kind. She also had the most gorgeous green eyes you will ever see in your life. However, our school was very cliquey, and we did not associate with the same groups. I should say that I was, and still am, an incredibly intelligent person, though my hair was always long and greasy, and my nose was a bit larger than average, and hung out with a bit of a bad crowd. One day, we had a particularly grueling set of exams, all of which could determine our future and where we would end up. After one of the tests, I was sitting outside, going over the test to see what I might have missed. And then there came him. Worst bully in the school, and hated me from day one. He constantly picked on me, doing whatever he could to make my life absolutely miserable. Of course, he could do no wrong seeing as he was in the popular clique and was the star athlete of the school. I knew he also liked this red-headed angel, and it simply made me hate him even more. So he and his friend got bored and decided to engage in their favorite pastime, picking on me. I tried to defend myself but to limited success. Finally, the red-haired girl yelled at my tormentor to stop, that it was wrong. I was in a rage at this point, anger boiling over stronger than you can imagine. I hated everyone for laughing, I hated him for doing this to me yet again, and I for some reason picked her as the outlet for my rage. I called her a mudblood. She hardly ever spoke to me again, and I knew any chance I ever had with her was gone. After we graduated, she married the bully and had a child. She and her husband died, and I was never the same. Now I have to teach that little shit at school. TLDR. Had a huge crush, called her a foul name and then had to watch her son after she died. I'm not going to spend too much time with the details, since this will likely just get buried at this stage of the post. My most embarrassing moment happened while I was working at a camp for the summer. I was a camp runner, meaning that I was the guy that drove into town for whatever reason. At night I'd sleep in a room with about 10 other guys, and the bathrooms were big and always busy, so I was completely abstinent nearly the entire summer. So one day I got a call that I had to pick up a camper girl who had been bitten by a spider and take her to urgent care. It was policy that if I was driving a camper of the opposite sex somewhere, there had to be another adult, 18 plus, of the opposite sex riding with us. The other adult that came with us was this cute girl that I had had a few conversations with prior. I was somewhat sleep deprived at the time, and she knew this, so as she had her camp driving clearance and knew the way to the urgent care, she offered to drive, and I accepted. The camp was in the middle of nowhere, so the ride to the urgent care was pretty long. In that time I fell asleep. I woke up with my dick hard as a rock and the head of it poking out of the leg of my shorts. Before I was able to get my bearings, I felt a surge of pressure and proceeded to ejaculate onto the glove compartment door. Immediately I heard both a shriek and a girl yell, "Oh God. Holy shit no." I turned and looked at both girls. Both of them had obviously seen what happened, and both of their faces were like beet red. The car was absolutely silent for the next 10 minutes, apart from the sounds of me attempting to wipe up my semen with an old McDonald's bag. Finally we reached the urgent care, and I dropped them off. After talking with the girl that drove the next day, I had apparently been hard for like 10 minutes. Both of them were fully aware of it, but both were too embarrassed to wake me up. That was the worst. TLDR worked at camp. In car with two girls I barely knew. Had wet dream. Ejaculated on glove compartment. 7th grade Spanish test. It's all quiet in the room. I'm a long-haired, greasy, socially awkward geek. I feel a sneeze coming on, but decide to hold it back so as to not draw attention to myself. I try, but cannot contain the sneeze inside. It takes the path of least resistance out of my body, my completely stuffed up nose. The sound is incredible. The snot tent is amazing, fully formed spider web of snot between my desk and my face. The classroom turns to look at me and sit in stunned silence. After about 10 seconds, the girl in front of me, the hottest 7th grader in school, says loudly, "That's gross." Everyone laughs. I try to disappear. Like, comment, and share. Reddit Story Topper. Subscribe now.